Chuckload of Comics is brought to you by Cold War Games, creators of Squarriors, Fight Your Friends, and Lady Death Last Stand. For more information, visit coldwar.us.
Good call, Krasinski, you sneaky devil, you. So, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our final story of the day. This leads directly into our viewer poll. Every single Friday on our Instagram page, we pose a viewer poll question to you guys and ask you what you think about any one particular topic, a nerd topic of the week. This week's topic was the Dr. Sleep trailer. Did you see it? And did you like it? I was really surprised by the result. It clocked in at 60-40. 64, so that was kind of positive. 60% of you guys really liked it. 40% of you guys actually didn't like it. One of you guys actually said no with exclamation points, which I don't understand at all.
Oh my gosh.
So guys, this trailer, we've been looking forward to this movie for a while. It comes out this year. It comes out November 8th. Shauna, I'm going to throw this one to you because you're the Dr. Sleep expert. You've read the novel. I want you to kind of break down what's the basic plot of Dr. Sleep, and what did we see in the trailer that sort of like stuck with the book? Give us the dirt, Shauna.
I was so excited seeing this trailer. To your point, I'm going to start off with the plot because it was a teaser trailer and you didn't get any of the plot from this trailer. So
they call it a teaser trailer. It's 2.5 minutes long.
Yeah,
But anyway, continue.
But really, you didn't get much of the plot
You're right.
in the trailer. So like, obviously, young Danny Torrance is just horribly distraught after the events that happened at the Overlook Hotel. So what does he do?
Rightly so.
Yeah, he grows up and becomes an alcoholic like any normal person, right?
Just like his dad.
Just like his dad.
Just like his old man.
He's got to suppress all that craziness that's going on in his head, so he becomes an alcoholic. Well, he decides in his 30s that he wants to sober up because he shouldn't be drunk all the time. So he sobers up, gets a job at a hospice center, and he realizes as he's sobering up, his abilities, his shine is coming back. And then he's able to actually assist these hospice patients in passing, like when they're near death, he's able to comfort them and help them transition to wherever they're going peacefully, which is how he gets the nickname Dr. Sleep.
I get it. So when he was drinking, it kind of suppressed his shine ability, and then he said, why did he decide to quit drinking?
Just because he realized he was ruining his life.
Yeah.
He probably shouldn't drink his life
Starting to
away.
get weird liver spots, and he's like, you know what, I'll talk to the dead. It's not worth all this. I want to be pretty and psychic. Okay.
But of course, you know, he starts getting these abilities back, and as you see in the trailer, somebody's trying to talk to him to the chalkboard, and that person that's talking to him is the girl that we see in the trailer. Her name's Abra. She also has the Shining, and she actually shines more intensely than Danny.
Okay,
so she's like,
she's the one leaving the comments on the wall.
She's the one talking to him through
I
the
was
chalkboard.
totally wondering that. Who's leaving these comments? Like, is it his dad? Is it some weird ghost from another
Abra.
dimension?
She
the little girl on the bench that he's talking to is Abra.
Yep. She shines so strongly that she found Danny because he lives close by, and she starts talking to him to the chalkboard. Awesome. But what you also see in the chalkboard is murder come through, and that's the evil ghosts from Overlook also, because they never left Danny. Even though the hotel burned down, everything still haunts him.
I want to interrupt you for just a second because I noticed that. I mean, I noticed in the trailer because in the original Stanley Kubrick, Stephen King movie, it was Red Rum is written on the wall, and when you look at it, or on the door technically, and when you look at it in the mirror, it says murder.
No.
In the trailer, it's flipped, so it's murder, but when you look in the mirror, it says Red Rum. Does that have any sort of importance in the book?
I don't think so.
No? It's just a neat thing to throw in there?
Yeah, probably.
Is that in the book? Like the fact that it's murder and then he sees Red Rum?
I hate to say it, I don't really remember if that particularly is in the book.
Okay, continue.
So, what we also see in the trailer is this group called the True Knot.
True Knot.
And they're led by Rose the Hat, who you see. She's this pretty lady wearing a hat.
Nice hat, by the way.
I know.
That was a beautiful hat.
Talking to people who like hats.
And this is coming from somebody who knows her hats. Okay.
Well,
True
what
Knot.
this group True Knot does is they're actually like these immortal beings, but how they get their immortality is they kidnap, torture, and murder people that shine.
What?
Because when that happens, people that shine, when they're tortured in death, they release this essence that, in the True Knot call it steam, which you see in the trailer. You see Rose the Hat leaning over a tortured individual, and she's inhaling the steam.
Actually, she exhaled the steam. If you watch the trailer, watch the trailer again. She actually exhales the steam. I watched the trailer like 4 times, so I don't understand how that works. I'm sure it has something to do. But she actually breathes the steam out. So, but anyway, so steam. Sticking with the steam thing, I hate to keep interrupting you because this is bringing up all kinds of cool questions because I don't know anything about the story. In the title treatment, at the end of the when Dr. Sleep comes up, it's all steamy and smoky. Steam, if you didn't know, is what happens when you superheat water, and it turns from a liquid state to a vapor state. Shauna, continue.
Thank you for that science lesson.
That's what I'm here for.
So basically how all of this ties together is the Rose the Hat and the True Knot group. They realize that they come to be familiar with Abra, who is now the strongest person they've ever come in contact who shines.
Abra. Oh, let me stop you again.
Yeah.
Abra. Because in the trailer, she talks about how she has magic. She has magic. And her name's Abra, like abracadabra.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do in the book?
I think it's just a coincidence.
Is her actual name Abra, or
Her
is it
name's
just goes
Abra.
by Abra?
No, her name's Abra.
Okay, continue. Tell me more about this amazing book.
So yeah, that's how the True Knot wants to go after Abra and kidnap her, and instead of killing her, they want to keep her and torture her indefinitely to continuously release steam so that they will always be immortal.
That's smart.
Yeah. So then, of course, Danny's befriended
Why
her, so now Danny's trying to
why
fr-
kill the cow when you can get the milk for free? I think
Exactly.
is that how it goes? Or
Something
marry
like
the cow.
that.
Don't kill your wife because you can milk her for free. Anyway,
That sounds right.
so she's the strongest. Is she stronger
Yeah.
than Danny?
Yep, she's stronger than Danny.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do the not the Abra people, what are they called?
True
Knot.
Uh-huh.
Are they aware of Danny's presence?
I don't think they were until recently because he was
He was a drunk.
drinking to suppress his... What's wrong with that?
Good
I mean,
call.
geez, I know, right?
I like to hide from stuff drinking also.
But yeah, this movie is going to be amazing, and what makes it even more amazing is that it's written, directed, and edited by Mike Flanagan, who brought us
Yes.
Haunting of Hill House.
Oh my God, the guy that did Haunting of Hill House directed
I-
every episode of Haunting
yeah,
of Hill House.
every episode, wrote every episode, edited every episode.
You got my money, man.
I know.
Take
I just
my
got
money.
goosebumps. I want to buy these tickets now.
He also wrote and directed the movie Oculus.
Yes.
Have you never seen Oculus? It came
Great
out about
movie.
5 years ago. Fantastically trippy horror movie
Yeah.
about mirrors and like ghosts and stuff. Check out Oculus. That might have been his directorial debut.
Maybe.
And oh my God, if you haven't watched Haunting of Hill House,
Best television haunted series ever. Maybe even like one of the best movies, if you consider that.
I
in that
agree. But
category.
so let's stay on Dr. Sleep here because I have one more question. Well, maybe a couple more questions for you. In the trailer, you actually see old Danny, played by Ewan McGregor, obviously, going back to the Overlook Hotel.
Yeah.
You see him walking into their little apartment. It's all dirty and grimy. You see him going back into room 237. You see the lady in the shower. You see him walking down the hallway. Is any of that in? Is he actually going back to the Overlook Hotel?
No, it's all just the hotel trying to drag him back. I mean, you saw in the original Stanley Kubrick movie
Yes.
how
I love that
Jack like visioned all these things that weren't happening. It's kind of the
Oh, okay.
same. Kind
So
of the
he
same
doesn't
thing.
actually go back to the
No.
Overlook Hotel. Because in the book, they blow up the Overlook,
Right.
but in the Stanley Kubrick version. Interesting little side note. I want to mention to all you guys, Mike Flanagan, who was writing and directing this film, he knew he couldn't make it unless he had, obviously, the blessing of Stephen King, but he also wanted the blessing of Stanley Kubrick, who's passed away. But so he
Right.
went to the Stanley Kubrick estate, like Stanley Kubrick Foundation, and he said, "I'm not doing this movie unless I have your approval because that's the movie everybody's most familiar with."
Sure.
Stephen King notoriously hates that film and doesn't like Stanley Kubrick for what he did with his source material, but he wanted both because that's the movie he's going to be referencing most.
Yeah.
So, because you see in the trailer the Overlook Hotel, you see
Yep.
Danny riding his little big wheel down the hallway, you see the blood in the
All
elevators,
classic
you see the little
movie
girls.
scenes, Yep.
So he got the approval. So
Yeah.
he got the approval from the Kubrick estate and from Stephen King.
Not
That
only
is a
Stephen King's approval, but Stephen King's an executive producer
yes,
on this movie.
that
so.
is incredibly important little detail
Oh, man.
for all you fans of The Shining. Also, last little side note I noticed because I was like Googling this. All those shots that you see from the original film were reshot. Those aren't, except for
Yeah.
the bloody elevator. Those are all reshots. They didn't actually use the footage. They
kinda
reshot
tell
the
that.
footage.
It looked a little bit brighter.
Except for the bloody
and-
elevator.
Yeah.
The blood coming through the hallway is actually taken from the Stanley Kubrick
That's
film.
cool.
But like him riding down the
Yeah.
riding down the hallway on his big wheel, totally
Completely
reshot.
reshot.
They found
I-
another little kid with a 70s haircut. Well, the movie stars Rebecca Ferguson, who you know from the Mission Impossible films, Ewan McGregor, obviously, and Jacob Tremblay,
Okay.
who was the little kid in the movie Room.
Nice.
And he was in something else recently. I can't think of what it was. I know we talked about it on Chocolate Comics.
He's probably the new little Danny
You
that
think?
they shot all
Is
the
there a
scenes
little
with.
Danny, like, with speaking roles?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if they
Just in
flashback,
flashback?
maybe, yeah, because they do flashback to Halloran, like, because
I was going to ask you about,
he
okay,
doesn't die in the book.
new question. Is Mr. Halloran in the book is he going to be in the movie?
He is. He's actually very heavy in the first parts of the books because, like we were just saying, he didn't die in the book,
Right.
Shining. And he actually goes on to kind of assist Danny throughout the rest of Halloran's life because he does die from old age later on.
Yeah.
But he helps Danny with his powers and stuff. throughout
Side
his
note,
whole
if you
life.
guys haven't read The Shining, it's my favorite Stephen King book.
It's so
Is
good.
The Shining. It's spectacular, and Mr. Halloran does not get the axe through the gut. He actually
Nope.
lives, and the book ends with him and Danny sitting on a dock.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly how it ends, but he explains something about Shining, and I think they have a vision of him all grown up. So it's like the very last few pages of The Shining lead right into Doctor
Dr.
Sleep, and that's
yeah.
why they wanted to make a Doctor Sleep movie, because
Yeah.
the ending of the book that was written way back when totally teases a sequel that everybody's been screaming for. So all you
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
people that think this is just a cash grab because of the success of it,
I know.
it's not. This
It's-
is a New York Times best-selling novel
Yeah.
that fans of Stephen King were screaming for.
Absolutely. Like, I think that's where the 40% hatred came from for the trailer, is because people are looking at, oh, they redid Pet Cemetery, they redid
Exactly.
It. We're just going to do a cash grab and make a Shining 2. No, this was a book, and it was a great book.
Very popular book.
Very popular, very good read, like, one of the best Stephen King novels ever. And, like, they're making a movie of it, and the movie looks great.
And the movie comes out November 8th, guys. Get your tickets as soon as it goes on sale. Check it out, guys. Well, that's our whole story, guys. Get excited about Toy Story 4, A Quiet Place 2, and, of course, Dr. Sleep. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, you probably aren't even watching this video, but check out the trailer. Now that you know a little bit more about the story, thank you, Shauna.
No problem.
I think you'll appreciate the trailer a lot more. So, guys, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. If this is your first time to Chucklehead Comics, click that subscribe button. We're here every single Sunday breaking down all the cool, nerdy stuff that happened in the past 7 days every single week. It's a commitment we make every single week for
That's right,
you guys,
for
the
you.
viewers. So take a second, click the subscribe button, join the Chuckload of Comics family, and we'll see you here next Sunday. Have a fantastic week. Shauna, thank you for all the insight.
Not a problem. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you next Sunday.